What's up, everyone? It's Thursday night. It's the late night agenda. As always, I'm your host Craig, and you're all very, very welcome along to tonight's stream. The Reds are over in America. The Reds' first game of their American leg of the preseason takes place, I suppose technically we can say tomorrow, even though for us people in Ireland and the UK it falls into Saturday, but I'm gonna say tomorrow night, late tomorrow night. 1 a.m. kickoff Friday night into Saturday morning here in Ireland and the UK. We will be covering that game. We will be doing a watch along of it. I hope you can join us for that one. I'm very much looking forward to it. The standard of opposition starts to step up now for the Reds. Borussia Dortmund again tomorrow, Klopp's former employers. It's always good fun when the Reds play Borussia Dortmund. The crowd are always very enthusiastic, and I love the fact that our friends over in America get to go and watch the Reds live, because it is a treat. It's always a treat when you get to go and watch Liverpool. Ladies and gents, how are we? I hope you're all keeping well. I just finished recording 2 segments with LCFC Boya, or Anthony as I like to call him, and those are going to come out in due course. I'll probably put one out tomorrow because I won't be starting the live stream until 12:30 tomorrow night, so I'll probably put one out around maybe afternoon time tomorrow, and then I'll probably keep one up until I'm away on holidays next week. So just again to keep an eye out for what is coming up on the channel. How are we all? I just remembered I'm supposed to be doing a podcast tomorrow as well with Brian and Chris, so I've got to get an agenda over to them. So again, keep an eye out for that. That's going to be out at some time next week. But first and foremost, let's get in and see how everybody's feeling tonight and what topics you want to have a chat about. Douglas is in as well. Brian is in. James, how are we, everybody? Adam Jack said, "Hey Craig, haven't been watching for a few months because the phone was broken, but back now on the streams. It's great to have you back, mate. Thank you. I hope your phone got sorted out. It must be if you're back watching, but yeah, there's nothing worse, man. Nothing more expensive than a phone jacking in. It can be a real pain in the backside." Looks like this young talent Brewster Wilson van den Berg looks very good in training, said Liverpool Football Club. Stevie Richards said, "Craig, I enjoyed watching the training session tonight. I didn't get a chance to, mate, but I do love it. I love the whole pre-season thing on Liverpool TV or LFC TV. It's great." Scotty said, "Sorry, didn't receive a notification." You know what, mate? That's probably my fault. Connor's away tonight, so I was supposed to schedule the stream, and I was so intent on making sure everything was ready to go to record a Boya that I kind of forgot to schedule it until I was finished. So that's probably my fault tonight, mate. Sorry. What else we got? "Have you seen that Phil has permanently removed kids from their school? Something similar to what happened when he left us," said Jack's page. I'd seen some people mention it, mate, and you've kind of led me in nicely to a topic that we could start on tonight, and that is, of course, the whole circus around Coutinho, Barcelona and Neymar. Let's look at this first of all from Neymar's perspective. So Barcelona have apparently offered Paris Saint-Germain 2 players and around £90 million for Neymar. Now, the article that I read earlier on suggests that they basically handed PSG a list of 6 players and said, pick 2 of these and 90 million. And I think that has been turned down by Paris Saint-Germain as things stand. It's believed Philippe Coutinho, Ousmane Dembele, Ivan Rakitic and 3 others were on that list. Again though, let's go even further here, and we're talking about Coutinho. Rivaldo has advised Philippe Coutinho to avoid returning to Liverpool as his future remains a subject of speculation. We all know that Coutinho played his best football at Liverpool, he said, and I always believed that he could replicate it at Barcelona, but things haven't worked out. The chance of a return to Liverpool could be beneficial for him. I'm not sure if he's thinking of going back to England. He might stay at Barcelona to try and raise his game and prove his value, showing that he can get through the bump in the road. He's coming back from winning a Copa America title and his confidence is high. It's hard to see if he'll go. I really appreciate his qualities as a player and think he has time to show his best at the new camp this season. Let's wait and see. If he decides to join Liverpool, then they will become stronger, but they're European champions. I like what he did there. Did you see what he did there? He basically said, 6 times, motherfuckers, and that'll decide and put more pressure on him. It's tough to win it successively. It'll be a big challenge for both the club and the player. Remember, they were Champions League finalists and then winners in consecutive seasons after Coutinho's departure. So if he does return, he'll face that extra burden to win trophies. When I first saw this, when I first seen that Rivaldo advised Coutinho not to return to Liverpool, I thought, oh, hello, cheeky little motherfucker. As much as I love him as a player, by the way, Rivaldo. But when I read into it more detail, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. I want to get your thoughts on this, ladies and gents, on the whole... I don't want it to be about Neymar, but Coutinho, Neymar kind of goes hand in hand at this moment in time. Or do you think we can just forget about this? Coutinho ain't happening and then maybe nothing's happening for the Reds, or maybe you think we're going elsewhere? Let me know in the chat. Rumours has it that when Luke Slaver retires, he'll come back to work for Liverpool, said Amusing Assassin. I hope so. I love Lucas Leiva, as you guys know, and he did sign a 2-year contract extension, I believe, at Lazio, so he'll probably play on for at least another 2 years. I'm getting a Sky Q mini box. Dude, they're great. I could highly recommend them. I had my issues with Sky and internet and stuff, but when the TV systems are working, the Sky Q boxes and stuff, they are brilliant, to be fair. They're really handy as well. You can just put them in any room around the house. Craig, I'd take it if I was PSG, get rid of a troublemaker and improve the overall squad. Yeah, maybe they just don't fancy some of the players. I mean, they probably would take Coutinho, to be fair, but maybe they look at some of the Barcelona players and they just don't rate them and they'd rather have the money. I think they're open to the idea of selling Neymar, but I think they want what they want, and I think they like having one over in Barcelona as well, if the truth be told, because the rumours around the time were that one of the reasons that Paris Saint-Germain wanted to come in and the reason that they triggered Neymar's release clause was because they felt very disrespected by the way they were treated at Barcelona when Barcelona knocked them out of the Champions League that time with that comeback. Now, that's all speculation, but it is out there. A humble Coutinho could be a lethal weapon, said North Red. Champions of Europe, watch out Dortmund, said Pora Cahill. Or Cahill, I'm never sure which way I'm supposed to pronounce it. I'll say Cahill because I'm Irish, and with a name like Pora, you're probably Irish as well. We need some real flair in midfield, said Malejo. We might get that though, buddy, from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita this season. I know we've seen just a little bit of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in pre-season, but even in that, the few minutes we've seen, the directness, his pace, his power, and his willingness to shoot was something that really impressed me. Anthony Cronin said, I heard Arsenal, Inter Milan, 6-time European champions, have made bids for Pepe. Yes, I can move on to talk about that as well, mate. Just give me 2 minutes, but you're right, I do have some news on that around what you're saying. Vinnie Morgan said, if we don't sign a forward player, then Klopp must believe in Kent and Wilson. I don't know. I'm not saying he doesn't believe in him, I just don't know if I do. I think that's the real problem I'm having here, Vinnie, mate. I don't know if I believe in the two players or not. I've been more impressed with Kent so far in pre-season, but neither of them to me have shown what I think we'd need for them to be back up. But look, they are still young and developing as well, so you need to be fair on this. Mickey Flores is in. Mickey, how are you, sir? Don't ask, said Coutinho. No. I know, mate. I know. You're probably sick of talking about him as well. I'm a little bit fed up talking about him. I was looking through the thumbnails and there seems to be a new Coutinho story every day. So I even said it to Connor tonight. I was like, mate, can we put Coutinho on the thumbnail again? Because he is linked though every single day, so we kind of do have to chat about it. Gerald, how are you, sir? Welcome in. Peter van der Shan said, I hate Neymar as a player and everything that he stands for. We're very like-minded in this, Peter, mate. I'm not a massive fan of his at all either. There's no doubt the guy's a very talented footballer. I've said that time and time again, but his attitude seems to really stink. Love this channel, thank you very much. Don't ask, really appreciate that. Did you watch Klopp's press conference about an hour ago? No, I was recording stuff with Boya, mate. I didn't get a chance to, but I will watch it later on. John Cable said, in the words of Klopp, Chamberlain and Lallana are like new signings, and that's cool. He does like to put out that line, new signings. I remember he talked about James Milner in the same vein when he decided that Milner was no longer going to be playing at left back. So yeah, I mean, I want to give Klopp the benefit of the doubt because I love the man, so why not? Craig, are we going to get a rant today? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I tell you what won't happen though. I won't be having a rant about the same thing that I did yesterday. That much I can promise you, because I've put that to bed now. I'm moving on. Stephen Booker said, Craig, the Pepe rumour has been the most persistent one all summer. The Fernandes and Fekir rumours have died down recently. Might be something in it. You've led me on rather nicely, mate, to what Anthony touched on as well. Where is this Pepe news? Every time I'm struggling to find my notes, my natural inclination is to sing, but fuck me, you guys don't need me singing, so I'm just going to try and find these notes here really quickly. Douglas James Horn said, Juff bag by name, Juff bag by nature, hate that guy. I didn't even put him in my notes, Douglas, because I don't even want to talk about that scumbag, and I feel happy to say scumbag because he spat at another footballer, and he never has that nice to say about Liverpool anyway, so fuck him, mate, as we like to say on the channel. Right, where is the notes on this? Jesus Christ. Right, here we go. Yes, here we go. So L'Equipe claimed that the Reds are one of 3 clubs who've made concrete offers for Nicolas Pepe. Arsenal and Inter are also said to be the other 2 clubs, with Atletico Madrid and Napoli reported to be in the mix. Now, I wasn't on social media much today, but what I did see a lot of on social media around Nicolas Pepe was more and more stuff coming out around Napoli being in for Nicolas Pepe. I don't know if you guys have seen that. You are right, mate, in what you said. It is one of the most consistent rumours all season around Liverpool. Unless you're listening to the English-based journalists who just keep saying, we're not signing him, we've no interest in him, will you shut up talking about him? So I still don't know what to believe. Here we are many, many days later and I still don't know what's going on there. What time's Liverpool game on Saturday Irish time? It is Friday night into Saturday morning. So 1am kickoff, technically Saturday night or Saturday morning, but I always think of it as Friday night. So very late tomorrow night, shall we say. I'd rather have herpes than Neymar, said Phil Lindsay. I don't know, mate. Never had either, so probably not the best for me to judge. Coutinho missing those cloppy hugs. Who wouldn't? Said Rabadam. I'd love one. It's one of my life goals now, I'm not going to lie. Klopp hug would be rather tasty. I think that's okay. I think we all have a bit of a man crush on Jurgen Klopp. I seen something about Marco Reus earlier on talking about just being in Klopp's presence and the aura that he puts out, which is... yeah, you can understand it. I mean, Klopp must be a massive attraction for any player to come to any club, whether it be Liverpool, whether it be Dortmund at the time. Knowing Jurgen Klopp is there to give you motivation must be a huge, huge bonus. At least you can pronounce Pepe, said Peter van der Schans. Yeah, even though, do you know what? There probably is a better way of pronouncing it, mate. And it's probably because of the jeans company that I can say it. Killer for Hire is in. How are you, sir? George SPI said, Craig, need to start new season, forget the transfer window. Oh mate, I'm fully with you. I just want the start of the season to happen. Now whatever's going to happen in the window will happen, but I want it to be about football again, because we started this channel, and anyone that starts a fan channel, they do it to talk about football. They don't do it to talk about transfers, and they are nice and it is exciting from time to time, but at the heart of it all, we're a football fan channel, mate, and I cannot wait for the Reds to be back in action tomorrow night. I'm very much looking forward to doing another watch along. And Twango said, I'm watching, but I'm also writing my CV, so I don't want to be transferring the rant onto my CV. Well, first of all, mate, I hope you get a job. I hope that whatever you're applying for works out, mate. Lots of love to you. Vinnie Morgan, Craig, how do you feel about Origi as a left wing backup? We've seen him playing that Sadio role, I suppose. I don't know as of yet if his best position is through the centre, if it is coming in off the left. I suppose the question I could probably answer better is, how do I feel about Origi? And I feel like he's earned the new contract, Vinny. I feel like he will continue to develop, but I don't know if he is... I just quite frankly don't know if he's ever going to get to the level that we need from him. Although I back giving him a new contract, because I think stepping up in the moments he did last season deserved it. There's no time for sentimentality in football though, so I do hope that he keeps progressing. And I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on Origi as well. What keeper are we linked with? I'll get to that in a little bit, Shane, buddy. Don't worry, just give me a couple of minutes to get through the Pepe stuff. Dean Dixon, Real Barcelona don't need Pepe, Bayern Juve too, so that leaves the English clubs. Lille are just driving up the price for Pepe. Well, Bayern Munich are a little bit interesting in that they originally had set their sights on Leroy Sané, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get him out of Manchester City yet. Pepe was always muted to be maybe a bit of a backup for them, but there was always doubts from their side on his ability, or at least that's what was out there in the media. Bayern probably don't need him, as you've said, so it does leave the English clubs. Inter Milan, look, let's be quite frank about this. If they're going to go for Lukaku and they're looking at Sturridge as well, they can't afford Pepe. They just can't afford to throw that. So I think you're right. I think maybe we are genuinely interested, or that we're being used to trying to push up the price and get his name out there. It is easy to forget we are European champions, so throwing a player's name, linking him with our club, it does kind of give the players some more substance. I'm that big, I should be an attraction at a fairground, said Jason Powell. Fair enough, mate. Okay, gaming guide. I'm going to say this once and once only. We don't talk about that gentleman anymore on this channel. I had my little rant yesterday. I stand over that. But apart from that, we won't be talking about him anymore. Nor do I really give a shit. So can we just put that one to bed? Is that alright, buddy? We move on from that. Watch along, said Craig, for, well, tonight is it? No, it's tomorrow. There'll be a watch along for the Borussia Dortmund game, Big Verge, don't worry about that. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, you're welcome, Antoine, mate. I really do hope it goes well for you. Origi deserves his place, said George SPI. Hoping to get to a match this season. Do you know when they're erecting the Origi statue? I think they're still waiting for somebody to be able to create a piece of pipework, shall we say, big enough for the statue. So I don't know, mate. It could be quite a while, yeah. LFC 1892 said agreed. He's still got to win me over this season. Should we sign Marco Reus? No, those days are gone, mate. And he's too injury prone, quite frankly, as well. Excellent footballer. Really like Marco Reus, but he's far too injury prone, if we're being honest, for Liverpool to look at signing him now. We did seem to be linked to him every single window, though. It was mad. Just a bidding war, said Seamus Smith, with regards to Pepe. Pepe and Coutinho would turn this summer into a great summer, said the Revenai. I don't think we're going to get both, mate. I want to ask you guys in a little bit, though, like, do you think, well, maybe ask it now because it'll take me a minute to get to it. Do you think we're going to do any more business in this window with incomings, ladies and gents, or do you think that perhaps Klopp is, just going to stick with Sepp Vandenberg and maybe Harvey Elliott and that's that? Did you get your Liverpool chair? No, it's in production, George. The guys at Serendipity Furniture give me updates on it from time to time, but I think they're hoping to have it delivered over for the start of the season, and I have to say lots of love to Paul and Beth and everybody at Serendipity Furniture. I'm very much looking forward to sitting my fat ass in that beautiful chair. Callum said Klopp and Mane could be back for the Norwich game. Klopp said Mane could be back for the Norwich game. See, here's my take on this one, right? So the club apparently want to give everybody 3 weeks after they finish 3 weeks holidays. I don't want Sadio Mane rushed back. I want him to have his holidays, even if it does mean that he won't be available for a game or two at the start of the season, because the last thing I want is him coming back early, not fully refreshed, and picking up an injury that will keep him out. It's important to remember that these players need their relaxation and their downtime as well. And he's going and playing, and he's got the final tomorrow, of course, against Algeria. A massive tournament again after a massive season with Liverpool. So for me, Sadio needs his rest. LFC 8092 said if he gets a decent game time, doesn't score a decent amount of goals, he needs to be sold. I think that was about Origi. Dean Dixon said £100 million for Leroy Sané, put a bid in. They wouldn't sell to us, but I'd absolutely have him, Dean, mate. I would have him in a heartbeat. When he signed for Manchester City from Schalke, I was a little bit raging over it because he's a very good player, Leroy Sané. And I don't know why, as of yet, he's not a permanent fixture on that Manchester City lineup, but it is quite a competitive lineup to get into, in all fairness. Mr. Carl 07ish said, I think it's a massive gamble not buying anybody. It could backfire badly. Could do. Yeah, it could do. There's no denying that, buddy. Going into this window, I think the consensus, and I don't like to try and speak for everybody, but I can say the people that I've spoken to, a forward, maybe, whether you wanted that to be a number 9 or a wide forward or whatever, a forward and look at the fullback situation was, I think, a minimum that we were all hoping for going into this window. And as things stand, we went out and signed what looks like a very good young centre-back in Sepp Vandenberg. Harvey Elliott looks like a really, really promising kid as well. And one that will probably be in and around the first team this season. But, yeah, not one serious signing, if we should say that. Although, we haven't laid down a lot of money in this window, let's put it that way. Klopp won it with BVB, used a 4-2-3-1. Both Fabinho and Keita played in the 2, so getting the best out of them. If Pepe joins, drop Firmino down to have Mane, Salah and Pepe up front, I think will win us the Holy Grail. I don't know about the Firmino thing, mate. I like Bobby as a number 9. I know technically if we're looking at number 9s from a striker perspective, he probably doesn't get the goals that a normal 9 would, but he isn't a normal 9, is he? He does so much more for us in that position. Maybe a little tweak would allow him to be as effective a little bit deeper, but I suppose that's why Klopp gets paid the big bucks, isn't it, to make these decisions. George said, Craig, we have to win the Super Cup. Send a message out to those Dream City boys. Yeah, Super Cup, great. Community Shield, I've said all along, I really don't care about the Community Shield. I'm happy that money gets raised for good causes, but after that, it's just a friendly, basically, at the end of the day. We had to cancel a friendly in order to play it, so yeah, I mean, Super Cup, yes. World Club Championship, want to win that because we've never won it. Shabir, good evening to you, sir, as well. How are you? Roos is perfect. Liverpool fitting well with our front 3. But he's getting on and he's too injury prone. I mean, if we were going to sign him, it probably should have been 2 or 3 years ago. Gaz, how are you, sir? Welcome in. Stephen Booker said, Craig, I think we'll make one more first team signing, but that'll probably be it. We're yet to see the best of Keita, who I think will be a revelation. Plus, Oxlade-Chamberlain will be back and Brewster will break out. Well, I'm with you on Naby Keita, mate. I really, really have high hopes for him. We definitely didn't see the best of him last season, but we have to allow him time to settle into the league. He had a couple of injuries as well, but like you, mate, I think he's going to have a massive season this year. Ryan Brewster, well, look, the cat's out of the bag now, isn't it, with young Ryan Brewster? We're all starting to see exactly what a talent the kid is. 3 goals in 2 preseason games so far, which has technically only been 1 game because he only played 2 45-minute spells. So we're expecting a lot from him, but again, you don't want to put too much pressure on him. So we've kind of tried to get that balance right. And Oxlade-Chamberlain, I love the guy. I just love him. And I couldn't understand why Arsenal fans were happy getting rid of him and thinking that they'd done us for 40 million quid. I love him. I love having him around the club. Vinnie Morgan said, I kind of want to see Origi, Bruce and Shaqiri in pre-season to see how they play together for a potential FA Cup game. Dean Dixon said, Liverpool need to believe in what we've got. Bench, Brewster, Origi, Shaqiri, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Keita and Matip. Do we need anybody? I have Keita probably in my starting 11, mate, if I'm being honest. I mean, my strongest 11, and I know this would vary depending on who you're playing, but let's say I'd go right now Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robbo, Fabinho. I find it very hard to pick between Henderson and Milner, I've got to be honest, because Milner's been putting in some damn good performances, so I'm going to sit on the fence on that one. And then it'll be a shootout, I should say, between Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain, and then the front three is the front three. So, yeah, it's good times ahead. I get where you're coming from, and I understand all the positivity because we do have good squad depth. But the front three, if the drop off from that could be big. John Cable said there was a video release where Sane was heard saying in training that he wants to go to Germany, so probably wants to go to Bayern. Yeah, I mean, sometimes for German players, Bayern is seen as the pinnacle because, I mean, apart from the fact that they're going to be revered in their own country, and it really does seem to help them as well for their international presence. Yeah, maybe we just don't get it sometimes when we see players like that because, let's be honest, the Premier League is the biggest and best league in the world, so Leroy Sané is getting the opportunity to show what he can do at the very, very highest level. Of course, the Bundesliga is a fantastic league as well, don't get me wrong. I don't know, is it too easy for him to just say I want to go to Bayern Munich? Is it a bit of a cop-out perhaps? I don't know, maybe I'm just being harsh there. Martel Spence said, I told you we'll have a sign by the weekend. I think he meant to say signing, mate, but people have been telling me lots of stuff all summer, buddy. People were telling me that Pepe was done. People were telling me that Fernandes was done. People were saying Coutinho was done. And as of yet, we're all still sitting here scratching our nuts waiting for something to happen. Stig Blom Anderson, how are you, buddy? Said, we'll win one before the start of the season. I don't know. I mean, a trophy, I think, is it? I don't know what you're talking about. Just by Pepe and I'll be happy. Okay, by Ziyech too, said don't ask. Has anybody seen much on Ziyech actually? Somebody said to me yesterday there was going to be some news around Ziyech soon. It seems to be quite quiet on him. Pat Moynihan said, how much has Oxlade-Chamberlain improved under Klopp? A lot, mate. And he loves Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. It's easy to see that. I know at Arsenal sometimes he was shoehorned. He even played wing back, I think, at one point at Arsenal, but he is great in that attacking midfield role and he's very tactically aware. And I know this doesn't really play into on the field, but I like to say it as well because I think it's true. He's one of the most socially aware, social media savvy footballers that I've ever seen as well. Craig, I think Klopp needs to shave. Fair enough, mate. I'll leave that up to him. Look at me, I couldn't grow a fucking beard if I tried, and I have tried many times, but I just I can't do it. No hair on the head. Actually, do you know what? On that earlier on, I seen something really interesting that I never knew, and maybe you guys knew this, but apparently John Joe Shelby got into a bit of a row, shall we say, at 3 a.m. or something. But I didn't know that John Joe Shelby has alopecia. I just thought he shaved his head. I didn't realise that the man had alopecia, but he pulls off the shaved head very well, I have to say. I mean, as a fellow shaved-headed man, I think John Joe Shelby has a very good chrome dome. But I just genuinely, just out of interest, I didn't know that he had alopecia. What else we got? I don't think the question is will we win a trophy, it's how many will we win, said Vinnie Morgan. Yes, mate. I'm on board that train. You can sign me up for that one. I think, are we counting the Community Shield? Because let's say we've got 6 real trophies to play for. I'm aiming for 3 this season, ladies and gentlemen. The Super Cup, the World Club Cup, and the Premier League would be nice. I mean, Champions League would be nice as well, considering it is in Istanbul 15 years on from the last time we were there. Jack's Page said he would actually have a chance of winning something next season at Bayern Munich just because Bayern are in competitions that we aren't in. Yeah, I mean, we are going to do our best to dominate this year, mate, but to be fair, he's won quite a bit during his time at Manchester City as well. Seamus Smith said goalkeeper Alisson Becker, defence Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk. You went with Rolls Royce there, I like that. The Flying Scotsman, midfield Fabinho, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, which is the best talent-wise we have of the 3 Musketeers. Risky midfield, but we need to score goals, or we'll score goals from it. Yep, I get where you're coming from. Sometimes it will depend who we're playing, if we're home or away as well, whether we'll go risky with 2 attack-minded midfield players, or whether we perhaps go with somebody a little bit more defensive-minded to partner Fabinho. Sorry, I was getting distracted there because I was trying to think of my next comment going, how can I shoehorn Lallana into this conversation? Because still, to this day, thinking of Lallana in that 6, I know it won't be a natural 6, it'll be an attacking 6, a Jorginho type role, as Klopp likes to say. Thank you for me, said, what's happening with Bruno Fernandes? Love your channel, by the way. Well, let me deal with the second part of that first by saying thank you so much, mate. I appreciate that. Fernandes has gone really quiet, hasn't it? I've yet to see much from United fans who were very, very confident that was happening. And Liverpool side has gone really quiet. So, I don't know is the answer. Thank you for me. Anybody else got any news on him? Scotty said, where is Grujic? He signed another deal at Hertha Berlin, mate. He'll be there for the next season. And top 6, I'd say Chelsea in the best position, recalling the 39 players on loan. Yeah, they could have, Connor said to me, they could have, even though they have a ban, they could have their own little mini transfer window just by the players that they do have out on loan. Eric Worry's gone for the Reds to win 3-0 on Saturday against Borussia Dortmund. I nearly said Bayern Munich there because we were talking about them earlier on. Madib should start, said Dara Azizi. Is it Azizi? I hope I got it. Again, it's a 5-letter name and I'm struggling to pronounce it, Dara, so I'm just going to call you Dara, mate. For me, I get you. I understand. There's definitely an argument as to why Matip doesn't deserve to be dropped, if dropped is the right word. I just think Joe Gomez was always the plan, the partner of Virgil van Dijk, and now that he's fit and back and available, I think we'll probably see him get the nod from the start of the season. But I absolutely understand anybody who puts their hands up for Joel Matip because he barely put a foot wrong when he covered him for the second half of last season. Lens-based media said the Community Shield would be handy. We could use it as a tray to carry all the other trophies. Yes! Nailed it. Well in, mate. Perfect. We just use it to carry the rest of them. Perfect. Maybe we could use it for giving out medals on as well later on. That's really made me laugh. Well done. Midfield, Fabinho, Keita, Wijnaldum, said Bagsy13. Liverpool Football Club said Fabinho central midfield. Yes, he is, and what a midfield player he is, mate. I'm absolutely so happy we signed him. And he got a new set of nashes as well, in case you guys didn't see. He got the full Bobby Firmino treatment. I swear there has to be something in Liverpool players' contracts where we have a special offer with a dental clinic or something, because Kloppo got them done, Firmino got them done, Fabinho's got them done, Brendan Rodgers got them done when he was here. There's just too many people getting new shiny teeth when they're at Liverpool for it to be a coincidence. Is it Mole or Molly? How are you? Welcome in. Mourinho said the Community Shield was a major trophy. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. For me, we shouldn't have even qualified for the fucking thing. So we didn't win the league, we didn't win the FA Cup, so it's just, it is what it is, really, isn't it? Sean Bailey said, I wonder how much money we're earning from our EA Sports deal. I don't know. I didn't see any numbers thrown around for that. And just in case people don't know what Sean's talking about, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before. Liverpool announced that they're no longer going to be partnering with Pro Evo. They're going to be now partnering again with EA Sports as their football simulation partner or something along those lines. Now it's important to remember here, of course, that Peter Moore was working with EA Sports previously in his career, so he might have had a hand in this, shall we say. But for you gamers, I don't know. Do you prefer Pro Evo? Do you prefer FIFA? They're saying that there's going to be some Liverpool specialised content as well gone out on Liverpool's channels. What else we got? Craig, apparently United have bid on Aubameyang. Yeah, that's been muted around for a while. I mean, I don't know, mate. Why would Arsenal look to sell somebody who just was, a joint Golden Boot winner? It just doesn't make any sense. United will only get Fernandes if we don't want him, said Spy on Cop Iron, which I agree with. I absolutely agree with you on that, mate. If we wanted Bruno Fernandes, we'd get him. I fully believe that. I don't think the potential 50 million will be a sticking point either. Michael Edwards knows how to go about getting a deal done, but I think we can safely say that. Yeah, whatever's happening with him, it is dragging on through the window, isn't it? Because there was that post on Instagram where he pretty much said his goodbyes to his Sporting Lisbon teammates, and now he's back training with them again. So yeah, it's definitely a bit of a noodle scratcher as to what's going on there. When things go quiet around Liverpool transfers, it's a really good sign, said Shay Trainer. And somebody said to me yesterday, Shay, that Liverpool undid their pinned tweet or something on their Twitter account, and that usually means that something might happen. Some people were wondering if it was perhaps going to be young Harvey Elliott. That, to my knowledge, hasn't been announced yet. Now, I could have missed out on something because, as I said, I was a few hours behind getting set up. Leon Khan said, Craig, Fernandes' agent is in England to sort a deal with United according to some sources. Excuse me. What I do know is two very senior figures from Sporting Lisbon did fly into Manchester last week, I believe, but that was apparently to talk to Manchester City, and it was nothing to do with players. It was to do with I think pooling resources or working together going forwards on other projects or something along those lines, something very vague and random that wasn't really player related. So I know that got a lot of United fans thinking that they were there to get the deal done. You got it right, Craig. Azizi, cool. I finally got a name right, Dara. Brilliant. I feel good about that. On a boxing point of view as well, lots to talk about with boxing. I really should consider starting a boxing podcast or something. Although if there's anybody out there who wants to start one, I'd rather be a guest on one, to be honest. So if anyone is, hit me up. I absolutely love talking about boxing. I do go off on little tangents here, so bear with me. Peter van der Schanz has asked a very interesting question. Who was the best bald player ever? Vialli was a very good ball player. Who else have we got? I don't think we can really include John Joe Shelby in that list of the best ball players, but who's the best ball player ever? I'll leave that one to you guys. Vialli's the one that springs into my head immediately, although I'm sure there have probably been better bald players. It depends what we call bald as well, because do we mean shaved headed or, just genetic bale, or not genetic, what's it called, male pattern baldness, sorry. That is a good shout though. Who is the best bald footballer? Top stream, top show in the top 3 for Defo, said Andreas. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. To me, I said all along, I don't know why anybody tunes in. I like it. I'm happy about it, but I see some of the stuff that other people do, and I look back and I think I couldn't make that level of content. I couldn't do the type of analysis that other channels do, but for whatever reason, people come in and subscribe and stay, which I really appreciate, and I'm going to keep on blagging this till the wheels fall off. But on that, if you are enjoying the stream, ladies and gentlemen, please do hit that subscribe button. Please do let us know what comments you want read out, and give us a thumbs up as well. Supportedly, Bruno's agent has arrived in London today, said the Irish Beard. London. Now, I know we have an office in London. Do United have a London office? I'd imagine they probably do for strategic reasons. But that same sort of rumour was going around a while back as well, wasn't it? That his agents were over in London for talks with clubs. Spurs were one of them, I believe, at that time as well. Zidane, there's a shout. Spy on Cop. How did that not pop in immediately? I think you've won it with that, mate. Spy on Cop. I don't think anyone's going to top Zidane. Just got home. Can you recap? We spoke about Coutinho, mate. We spoke about the fact that he was urged by Rivaldo not to go back to Liverpool. We talked about Neymar a little bit, and that he has been offered to, or no, sorry, Barcelona have made an offer to Paris Saint-Germain of £90 million plus 2 players from a list of 6. That's doing the rounds as well. What else did we speak about? We spoke about... Nope, didn't do that one. We spoke at Nicolas Pepe, actually, and the fact that Liverpool are still being linked with him, and that there is... Where's the news on this? Where is it? There is apparently 3 clubs that have made concrete offers from, and those clubs were Arsenal, Inter Milan and Liverpool, according to L'Equipe, I should say. And they also say that Atletico Madrid and Napoli are reportedly in the mix. I'm going to move on to the goalkeeper now, because people were asking me who was the goalkeeper that was on the thumbnail. So let me just get on to that one as well. I kind of put this off a little bit because you know my pronunciation. So Liverpool have once again been linked with goalkeeper Ugurcan Cakir, and that is my best attempt at pronouncing that. That's according to the Mirror. He's a Trabzonspor goalkeeper, but the Echo go on to say that the only way we will ever be genuinely interested or will make a move is if Simon Mignolet moves on. So for those people who are wondering who the goalkeeper was on the thumbnail, I'm just going to say it's the Trabzonspor goalkeeper and leave it at that, or Mr. Cakir. I could probably get away with that. It's close enough to Fekir, and I'm sure there's a proper way of pronouncing this, and I'm sure Brian Morrissey is probably at home now banging his head off his table going, this lad just needs to give up and just phonetically spell out names or something from now on. Yeah, but that is who it is anyway, and it seems to be only if Simon Mignolet does move on. Right, let's get to some more of your comments. I'm so glad I got that over with. Dreading saying that name. Pepe Reina was bald, said Jim Jones. Yep, he was. Thoughts on Everton Suarez? Is this the Everton as in Everton? I can never remember his surname. The Brazilian player. Is that the guy we're talking about? Very good by the looks of it. Being linked. Who was it he was linked to in the Premier League? I can't remember now. Somebody will probably be able to let me know. He was linked strongly. It would have moved to somebody in the Premier League recently. Who have you got, Craig? Dave Allen or Price? Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it, man? Pricey has the power to knock out Dave Allen in 2 or 3 rounds, but we've seen even in his last fight, although Pricey got the win because your man bit him, but you could see against Cash Ali that he was starting to tire. I think Allen's on a roll. I like David Price. Obviously, I really like him, but I would probably nudge towards Dave Allen. I think he'll try and get through. He'll try and get through the early rounds, and then I think we'll see Pricey tiring and Allen maybe taking him out in the later rounds. But I have to say, it is a very good card that Eddie Hearn has put on this Saturday. You probably get your money's worth, is what I'll say, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to pay my €25, whatever it is, and get that card on Saturday because there's some good fights on it. Ashley Young, by far the best ball player. Jesus, come on, Leon. I'm very good, thank you, Blitz Shadow. How are you, my friend? Everton was linked to Arsenal and United. Thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate that. Arsenal. A lot of people again just saying Arsenal to me. Can you imagine us signing a player with a name like Everton? I know, I was saying this before, the shirt sales, it would just be all kinds of wrong, wouldn't it? What's your best Liverpool player? Well, my favourite one of all time was Robbie Fowler, Porrick, but my favourite player right now is Bobby Firmino. I fucking love the guy. I just absolutely love everything about him. He's an extrovert, shall we say, and I like an extrovert. What 3 Liverpool players would I have on my fantasy team? See, what I've done so far is, and we do have an Anfield Agenda Fantasy League. I don't know if I put the code out. I'll stick it up here closer to the time as well, so you guys can join if you want to. Who would I go with? I suppose you've got to be tactical in this, don't you? I'll probably go with Trent over Robbo because I imagine he's cheaper. You've got to go for... I'll probably go for Sadio as well. And then Alisson. I'd say that'd be the 3 I'd go for. Just thinking about it from a points perspective. But I'm absolutely shocking at Fantasy Premier League. I mean, shocking. The Irish Beard said, Craig, have you heard what Klopp said in the press conference about being here for another 3 seasons at least? Well, no, but he does have 3 years on his contract, so it's kind of, it's an obvious thing for him to say. I don't know about the best ball player. I know who the best bald referee was. Yes, Pierluigi Collina was the best referee of my lifetime. Basically, he was class. I think Carlos Valderrama, mate, is probably as far from a ball player in the most beautiful way as we could ever have. Oh, Carlos Valderrama, what a player. Garrett Meyer, how are you, sir? And thank you for the super chat. Said, if Jordan Henderson wins the Premier League as captain, could he become more of a legend than Gerrard? Oh, no. No. I get where you're coming from. I absolutely do. And I was one of the happiest people ever when Jordan Henderson lifted the Champions League at the end of last season, because I was so sick of some of the stick that he was getting. But nah, not for me, man. It's Steven Gerrard. He's up there with Kenny Dalglish. It's a good question, and one I'd like to pose to the chat, by the way. So thank you for that, Garrett, and please do let me know, ladies and gents, what you think. You've got to go for Salah, Trent, and Robbo, said Gilbert. Yeah, but there's some value to be had. I mean, spending that much on the two fullbacks, mate. Look, as I said, I'm shit at fantasy, so I'm probably not the best person to give any advice. Liverpool will sign 2 players before August the 8th, Dembele and Pepe, said PDK. Tomorrow is your last day of school, big man Steve. Well, enjoy it, mate, and then enjoy your holidays. I'm off on holidays on Monday, and I'm nearly counting the hours down at this point. Stevie G was the man, said Kate Hanna. The Revenite said Stevie G is the eternal Mr. Liverpool. Love that man. Do a rugby show. I'm not, mate. I know feck all about rugby, to be fair. I like watching it, but I definitely don't know enough about it to talk about it. I absolutely despise Henderson, but I rate him. You're a United fan, aren't you, Leon? Sorry, I was thinking, how dare you talk about your captain like that? But yeah, sorry, I forgot there for a second. Roberto Carlos, the best ball player? I don't think so. I think once Zidane was named, I think we all had to just bow down to that answer, because is there a better ball player than Zinedine Zidane, to be fair? It was a great answer. The best ball player are Ronaldo 9, the proper Ronaldo, Zidane and Thierry Henry, said Tom Jones. Although I don't want to call him Fat Ronaldo. Let's just say Brazilian Ronaldo. He had that weird little triangle at the front of his hair. Do you remember that? That was always strange. Stevie G was the reason I supported Liverpool, said Daniel. Gaming Guy said Stevie G won everything at Liverpool apart from the Premier League, so no. But he was Stevie G as well. It's important to remember that. The man won games, won cups almost on his own at times. There's 449 people in the chat as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Again, if you're enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Fabian Barthez, I loved him until he went to United, at which case I laughed at him because he wasn't great when he was there. De Ligt and Coutinho could be the only 2 players available that could improve our mighty squad. Well, De Ligt is gone. He's already signed for Juventus. That deal's done. Raymond Lowe said, Craig, did you see Milner's won every beep test and he's the oldest player on the team? He's still flying. I tried to say that the other day because I'm like you, and beep test or bleep test is what I had them in school, but it's called these days, I think, a lactate test. And I said it the other day, and I said a lactation test, and I just went, oh man, lactation. Yeah, but he's just a machine, isn't he? And you see the arms, he's 33 years of age and he's just chiseled out of stone. James Milner, I don't know, he's just pure Yorkshire stone and grit, isn't he? The man is he's like the Benjamin Button of football. Pacquiao or Thurman, asks Dara. I'm really unsure on Pacquiao. What is he? He's 40 years of age now, Pacquiao. And I know Amir Khan is sitting there patiently praying that Pacquiao gets through this because he said there's an agreement in place. I think Keith Thurman probably... It depends who's promoting the show. If Thurman's promoters are promoting the show, then I'd probably expect Keith Thurman to win on points. But Pacquiao could potentially pull something out of the hat. I'd probably lean towards Thurman. I just don't think Manny Pacquiao is the same Manny Pacquiao as he was 5-6 years ago. Well, I mean, stating the obvious, I know. And And sort of half of me doesn't want Emir Khan to get that fight either, because I think he's a shithouse in the way that he's ducked fighting Kell Brook, and that's the fight that a lot of English people wanted to see, and a fight that I think Kell Brook genuinely wanted, and Khan just seems to not want for some reason. Coutinho should be aware that he disrespected Liverpool and all the board because we never wanted to sell him, but he forced his way out. And even after our manager Klopp advised him not to. Yeah, he made his bed. I get where you're coming from, mate. He made his bed. Now he has to go and lie in it. From a human side, though, I mean, it just hasn't worked out for him, and you have to look at it and go, is it his fault? Maybe. Was it down to the system and the way he was played? Perhaps. I think, speaking about this with Boya earlier on, we were thinking, and I thought when he went to Barcelona, he was going to drop in there and play in the Xavi and Iniesta style role in midfield and take things over, but they seem to want to play him, is it on the left-hand side of their front three, which, I don't know. It just hasn't worked out for him, and whether it's he hasn't been able to step up, or whether the system hasn't worked, or I don't know, but it just definitely hasn't worked out, and I can't see it working out from long term there, so it'll be interesting to see what does happen with Felipe this summer. We need him back 100%, said Ted Bundy. It's mad to think that our last two captains have lifted the European Cup. It is, Kev. It's fucking brilliant, isn't it? It's class. Ala Madrid said top 3 Champions League favourites. And I don't know what you mean, mate. I mean, to win it next season? Is that what you're asking me? If that is, I'll answer that if that's alright. Liverpool, because, of course, reigning champions, back-to-back finalists. Juventus, I think Juventus, you've got to put them up there as serious contenders this year. It's difficult to know with the two Spanish clubs, with Madrid and Barcelona. It really is difficult to know. I'd say if I had to push another name, I'd probably throw City into the mix, although I've said openly I don't think they'll ever win it, but I think they'll be up there challenging for it. I think they'll fall short again. I just find it hard to know about the Spanish clubs, mate, until I see the players they get in and how they actually gel, especially with Madrid. They're after shaking that up quite a bit. Henry is better than Zidane. No, he isn't. Not in my opinion, Steph. Or wasn't, I should say. I think I loved Thierry Henry until he handballed against Ireland, in which case he was a cheating cunt. But in the Premier League for Arsenal, he was exquisite. But Zidane, man. Zidane is just... I think he's one of the greatest players of my generation. I loved watching Zinedine Zidane play football. Coutinho's a class player, Craig. He'd only improve our squad, said Embro. I'm not, like, if he comes back, mate, I will... Yeah, I'll welcome him back. I'm still pissed off about the way he left, but I'm also a hypocrite because I'm a football fan, so all I'd say to myself if he came back is, does that improve our squad? And the answer would have to be yes. Anybody who says otherwise would be lying to themselves, because same way, would Fekir improve our squad? Yes. Would Pepe improve our squad? Yes. Any attacking player right now of any quality would improve the squad. I'm not saying first 11 here, I'm saying squad. Stevie G, one club man from a nipper, one day be manager of the Reds, round off his career. Well, technically he played for LA Galaxy. I know he's a one English club man, nearly went to Chelsea, but thankfully saw sense right at the last minute. Manny Pacquiao will pummel Amir Khan, said Stephen Booker. As soon as he lands a good punch, Khan will fall like a deck chair. Yeah, as I said, I hope he doesn't get that fight. I really do hope he doesn't get it. Who's the most underrated Liverpool player? For me, either Jimmy Case, oh, you're showing your age there, Lens-Based Media, or Ian Callaghan, the only player ever to win the old Second Division, First Division, World Cup, both European Cups, League and FA Cup, and of course record appearances for Liverpool as well. What have we got? Would I take Zaha? Yes, I would, but not at 80 million quid. Not at the ridiculous amount I'd seen Crystal Palace quoting. Wilfred Zaha did come out as well and say that he wants to move away from Palace. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets his move. V for Vegdetta said, if Origi wins the Premier League, he smashes Gerrard. How dare you, sir? How dare you? He smashes Gerrard maybe in the trouser department, but it's Stevie G, man. It's fucking Stevie G. The man was, I don't know, it was a privilege to watch Steven Gerrard. yeah, it was just from the minute he broke through right until the end of his career, it was just nothing but a privilege watching Stevie G. We need a central attacking midfielder. Come home, Coutinho, said Ted Bundy. Again, yeah, I'll leave it to everyone to make up their own mind. Why do people say Keita has been a flop? Those people, mate, are what we technically call in the business idiots, because they're short-sighted fools that don't see that he's human. I keep trying to say this to people. As Liverpool fans in particular, we have too many instances of writing players off too early in their careers that have come back on then after a year or so when they've settled to have very good careers. Naby Keita is not a flop, and anyone who describes him as a flop is foolish. He didn't have the best first year here, whether that be because of, let's say, social circumstances, maybe with learning a new language, with a different culture, with a different food, getting used to driving to training, the different training grounds. There's so many different bits and pieces that he has to get used to. Then he has to get used to our style of play and a manager that demands an awful lot, particularly when it comes to fitness from players. And then he's getting used to a new league as well. He's getting used to probably getting more, I would say more attention, but playing against a higher standard of player, as good as the Bundesliga is, I think pound for pound the Premier League is probably a bit stronger of a league. So it's just give him time. I think with the injuries as well, we've seen flashes towards the end of last season of what Naby Keita is capable of, and I think I'll back the guy to the ends of the earth. I think he's going to end up being a great player for this club. What else we got? And thank you, by the way. There's been loads of super chats coming in so far tonight. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Coutinho listened to his agent too much and went about it all wrong, but people need to stop being angry at him just because he left. I mean, Ian Rush left and he's a legend. Yes, correct. Went to Juve, came back. I don't know about Coutinho. I don't know if there is any truth to him coming back or not. I still don't have a clue. Same with Pepe, same with Fekir. On Fekir. While I mentioned Fekir, let me just talk about this. It looks like that finally we can put Fekir to bed. It looks like he'll be joining Real Betis for a €25 million on a 5-year deal, but apparently that won't go through until Betis sell want-away player Giovanni Lo Celso, who had been strongly linked to Spurs for a while, but Spurs then pulled away from that deal. And I think they just want to move him on before they buy Fekir. But it looks like that's all but a done deal, Nabil Fekir to Real Betis. And I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked by this. I think he's better than Real Betis. I wonder... There's a couple of thought processes on this, I suppose. One, are Betis doing it to try and flip him for a serious profit in a year or two? Or, as other people have suggested, is his knee worse than any of us maybe thought? And when people see or have heard, maybe in the inside industry, about his knee, they just stayed away from him. Because Arsenal, you tell me Arsenal couldn't have done with Fekir at that kind of money? Who else? We got Spurs could have done with him at that kind of money. There's like so many clubs. €25 million for Nabil Fekir. And nobody has really gone for him. Nobody. Something has to be up there. Either he has a real asshole of an agent, he's demanding ridiculous wages, or his knee is made of Weetabix. It's one or the other. Well, I say one or the other. I think I've just named 3 things, but it's something around there. It will intrigue me forever until maybe the day he writes a tell-all book and we finally find out why that transfer didn't happen, because yeah, it's an odd one that a player of his potential quality will end up at Real Betis. It's strange to me anyway. Coutinho, done that one already. Hey Craig, did you hear about the dangerous spiders in Ireland? No, I didn't, mate. It feels like there's a story like around spiders and new wasps that come in every year about how we're supposed to be wary of these new attacking creatures that are going to kill us all over here in Ireland because of the warm weather. Yeah, no, I'm alright so far, thank God. Most underrated Liverpool player is Skirtle. Not for me, mate. I mean, he had some good times at Liverpool, but he was also an accident waiting to happen. I think some of the most underrated players at Liverpool, it was for Mino for a long time, particularly by opposition fans. Steve Finnan, very underrated Liverpool player. I suppose there's probably a load we could name on this one. Whelan is a good shout as well from Luke Whitehead. Shay Traynor said Zaha would be quality for us, which I absolutely believe, but not at 80 million. I just don't see the club doing it at that kind of money. Kleiny as well. Has anybody heard anything new on Nathaniel Klein? I know Crystal Palace had been linked obviously after Wan-Bissaka left, but as of yet I've not heard of the club receiving a bid for Nathaniel Klein. Did you say Origi would best Gerrard in a trouser competition? Of course, mate. Origi would best anybody. I mean, Dirk Diggler wears Origi pyjamas. That's all I'm saying. Paul Turner said I'd put Tommy Smith in that list as well as Jimmy Case. I mean, some people you're showing your age tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I like it. And I sometimes feel old on here, and then I remember that there's people that have been watching this club a lot longer than me in the chat. Give Keita time to settle. He's had some injuries, scored some goals at the end of the season, said Kevin. No way is Keita a flop, said Shay Trainer. Whelan's wand was a wonder. That was a mouthful, Luke, I'm not going to lie. I still say this. For anybody who didn't see Ronnie Whelan's goal for the Republic of Ireland against the old USSR, Google it. It was one of the best scissors bicycle. Well, it was a scissors kick, scissors volley that you'll ever see. It was stunning. Sean Bailey said, feel sorry for Keita coming from a Frankfurter to a Richmond. Oh God, bit of bum. Taxi for Sean. Taxi. It's alright, Sean. I've made many terrible jokes on here, buddy. I think Tommy Smith gets overlooked for being an enforcer, but he was a great player. Sacrificed his health for the team with pain-killing injections. Yeah, there's a lot of players like that, mate. I think, was it Ian Callaghan? Was it? I think it might have been Callaghan. That he had a broken foot and went to the manager and he said, I can't play him, a foot sore or something. And he says, it's not your foot sore, it's Liverpool Football Club's foot. And how times have changed. Imagine a manager saying that to a player now. Fucking hell, he'd be up in front of a tribunal. Agents would be in. Jeez, he'd never hear the end of it. Ian Rush didn't drop tools. Did anybody say he did? I don't know, maybe I missed something on Twango. I don't know if anybody did say he dropped tools. I think people said that he's still a legend and he left and came back. Do you remember was it the match or the shoot one that did an April Fool's Day thing where they put him in an Everton kit and said that Ian Rush had signed for Everton? That was brilliant. Leon Kahn said, last year Fekir was on the verge to join Liverpool, now he's joining Real Betis. It does seem mad. Zen said he leaves Leon to join Betis, for fuck's sake. Craig, you're right, Keita will be top class this season, said Happily Eggs. I think he will be. I'm really confident. And again, having Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think we don't need that in midfield really, from a sense of what we have. I know people could say an attacking midfielder, but I still, in my mind, I'm looking at that in a forward position because we just need more backup in attack. I'm going to say this no matter what happens in this window, we need to add strength in attack. It's too much of a drop-off to have Origi and a young Brewster. You can say Shaqiri as well. I would have said Lallana, but it looks like now he's going to be playing in a more, not defensive role, but a deeper midfield role at times. I'm still scratching my head on it as to why we haven't got out and signed another attacker. And I don't buy into Kent and Wilson, by the way, being good enough. Not yet. Whether they will be or not, fair enough, but I don't want to be going into the season again hoping that Kent or Wilson comes through because I have my serious doubts long term about both. Keita needs to strengthen up and stay fit. Also, he needs to adjust to the pace of the league, said Jassar. Bad jokes probably come from my dad's 23 chromosome, mate. I think everybody's dad has some shit jokes in them. What keeper are we linked to? The one from Trabzonspor, mate. Mr. Oh God, I'm not going to say his first name again. Where's he got? Mr. Cakir. And it's only if Simon Mignolet moves on. Well, that's according to the Echo anyway. What else we got? I had to pay 96 million for Fekir on FIFA. Gutted, said Craig Adams. Yasara said, signing back Coutinho could be seen as a massive success story and a warning to those thinking the grass is greener. Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of scenarios like this. So, Luis Suarez was very close to joining Arsenal until Steven Gerrard said to him, look mate, that's not a step up in your career. Hang on, if you want that move over to, I think he wanted to go to Spain to be fair, you'll get that move. Just go in and keep your head down, keep plugging away and it'll work out. When Coutinho wanted that move, he was told, stay here, become a legend, and I'll build a fucking statue for you, or you can go over to Barcelona and just be another player. And he's finding that out the hard way. Yeah, he's finding it out the hard way. There's nothing else really to say on it. Peter Crouch, underrated go-kart murderer. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know what Tom's talking about, before a Champions League game, I can't remember which one it was, the team went go-karting when Crouchy was here and Benitez was manager, and Crouchy thought he was going to be funny and drove towards Dirk Kuyt and Xabi Alonso, and then realised the brakes on his go-kart had gone, and said he had a split second to decide which one he was going to try and steer towards, and he thought to himself, Xabi Alonso's too valuable, so he aimed towards Dirk Kuyt, but thankfully nobody was injured, and he said Rafa Benitez looked like he was going to kill him. Would I join storming Area 51? No, because I don't have a fucking death wish. What do you think is going to happen there if people do decide that that's what they're going to do? You don't think that the government are going to defend themselves or their base? That, yeah, look, I'm not getting involved in this conversation, but would I do it? Absolutely not. Gomez or Matip to start the opener of the Premier League? I'm going to say Joe Gomez, mate. That's my opinion. I think the plan has always been for Gomez to partner Van Dijk, but as I said earlier on in the stream, I can absolutely understand anybody's point of view that says Joe Matip after the second half of the season that he put in. R.I.P. FekirFriday, says Raiola. Yeah, can we just all bow our heads for a moment? Peace be with you, Nabil, and also with you. Yeah, rest in peace, FekirFriday. We there will be no more of this FekirFriday. I had Fekir in career mode on FIFA, and he got an ACL injury. ACL injury. Oh, don't say those words, mate. Actually, on that, we spoke about Paul Glatzel, and it is looking like that he's going to be out for a very long time with that knee injury. It hasn't been fully diagnosed yet, but it's starting to look more and more, or is it Paul Glatzel or Paul Glatzel, that it might well be an ACL. So do wish him a speedy recovery, of course. R.I.P. Pernell Whitaker as well. Dara Azizi said, yeah, sadly passed away. Was he struck by a car, Dara, if my memory serves me correct? I remember reading an article about it. Former world champion boxer. People rate this guy very, very highly as well. I remember seeing a picture of Floyd Mayweather posted a picture of the two of them together, I think last month. Yeah, so obviously rest in peace to him as well. In the Messi era, any player that joins Barca is going to be just another player, said John Cable. Yes, exactly. There's no way you're going to be allowed to be the superstar there. The team is built around Lionel Messi. You heard that story on Crouch hitting on Xabi Alonso's wife? No, I didn't, but I've said it before. My favourite thing Crouchy ever said was when he was interviewed once and he was said, Peter, what would you be if you weren't a footballer? And his answer, without blinking, was a virgin. And I just thought, ever since then, I've just loved the guy. How could you not? He's a top lad, Peter Crouch. And his podcast, by the way, is an excellent podcast for anyone who wants to find another one to listen to. Roberto Carlos was a decent ball player, said Soldier Boy. Some left peg on him as well. That free kick, was it against France? I think it might have been against, but that Roberto Carlos free kick will go down in folklore. We'll sign a good player soon. It's too quiet. The lobby for the Storm, said Eric Worry. Is Glatzel the one who's partly German? I don't know his background, mate. Sorry, I'm not sure. What else we got? In Florida, he passed away. He was 55 years of age. Yeah, so sad to hear about that. We will just have to reinvent Fridays, Craig. Any thoughts? God, I don't know. I'm sure we'll figure something out soon, mate. There'll be somebody linked who we can slide into that position. Phil Friday. There you go. Stig Blom Anderson straight away without even batting an eyelid. Phil Friday. It'll do until he goes somewhere else, perhaps. Happy retirement, Crouchy, said Adam Parks. Yeah, absolutely. If you don't like Peter Crouch, I mean, I don't know what you want. The man is just quality. Overall, would you be happy if Coutinho came back or not? Yes, I would. It wouldn't have been my first choice, Hansy. I'm not going to lie. At the start of this window, he wouldn't have been the player who I would have said we need to bring back. But if it happens over us not bringing in another attack-minded player, then yes, I'm going to be happy if he comes back in. I still don't know if he will or not. I just don't know if the club and Barcelona are going to be able to agree a fee that, one, strokes Barcelona's ego enough so they don't look like they've had their pants pulled down, even though they would have. I just don't know if it'll happen. I don't know if there's enough time. I don't know. I'd love the 2-year loan thing, by the way. I would absolutely love that to be true. Even if there was a commitment to buy at the end of it. I mean, I'd hope we'd go full on Serie A there and go at the end of it. Oh yeah, no, we agreed to 88 million, but we're renegotiating that now. Because Italian clubs are fucking geniuses for doing that. Did you see the Liverpool versus Ireland 11? Yes, I was at the game, Porrick. Myself and Connor were there. Of course, now did the Sean Cox Rehabilitation Fund, which I believe has now hit its €2 million target, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it was good fun, mate. We were there. Luckily, we got media passes to the game, so yeah, it was great to be there. It was great to see so many Reds turn out for what was a fantastic cause. Kai Havertz has been linked. Thoughts? My thoughts are that he's not moving this summer from everything that I've read, including Bayer Leverkusen, and I think the player, but I could be wrong on that one. The thought process was that he's going to stay at Bayer Leverkusen for another season, and it's almost like a bit of an open secret perhaps that he will then move to Bayern Munich. But I mean, I'm happy to have a player like that linked with the club because a lot of people think very highly of him. Looks like Phil's off to PSG as part of the Neymar deal. We touched on it, Lil Joey, a little bit earlier on, buddy. It looks like Barcelona have basically said, right, look, we want Neymar. Here's £90 million and a list of 6 players, and you can pick 2 from this list. And it seems like Rakitic, Dembele, and Coutinho were 3 of the names on said list. But I don't know if he wants to go there. I mean, it's important to remember he turned down Paris Saint-Germain on a few occasions when he was at Liverpool, said he'd no interest in the deal and that it was Barcelona or nothing. Now, if he ends up there now, I mean, yeah, it is definitely a tale of caution, isn't it? Liverpool versus Dortmund time, said Henry Skin. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're doing a watch along of that game, just to remind everybody. We're going to be starting at 12:30 a.m. I really find it hard to describe this, right? I think of it as Friday night, but it's really late Friday night into early Saturday morning. It's a 1 a.m. kickoff, Ireland to UK time, so we'll be doing a watch along of that one. There will be no late night agenda tomorrow night because obviously I'll be doing the stream for the game. So we're going to put up some content though during the day so you guys have some more content, but we will be doing a watch along of that game. Then on Saturday, what else have we got? Saturday, the last late night agenda before my holidays, and then on Sunday I'll be covering the Sevilla game as well, so do keep your eye out for that one. Havertz is sensational on FIFA, said Leon Khan. Lara said soon 20k subs, Craig. Yeah, I mean, I'd hope to just hit 18k before I went on holidays, mate, so I'm very, very grateful that we've hit 18,000 subscribers, but it will be lovely to hit 20k, a nice big dirty round number. So if you want to help us get there, ladies and gents, there's a few things that you can do. You can, of course, hit the subscribe button. You can share the stream. You can see the options there below if you look down on your YouTube. You can let people know about us. If you're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it might be, let people know about the channel. If you wonder about our other social media, by the way, we do have a Twitter account. It's at Anfield Agenda. An Instagram account that's run by Kev again. That's at Anfield Agenda. We're not on Facebook, or well, Mickey Forrest has a Facebook group, an Anfield Agenda Facebook group, but I've got to be honest, I absolutely fucking despise Facebook. I just don't like it, so I stay away from it. Twitter account is also closing in on 35,000 followers, so if you want to go over there and help us reach that, that would be great. And don't forget about our giveaway as well. And we're giving away that beautiful print from Mark Jenkins Art. I'm going to pull it up here on the screen so I can show you. It is an A3 print of Mohamed Salah with the golden boot. I'm just trying to find the picture now, bear with me. Yes, this one. Okay, get it right up. There you go. It's an A3 print of that wonderful. Am I a bit orangey there now? Do I need to? Hang on, let me refocus this. There you go. Yes, it's an A3 size print of Mohamed Salah. It's really good quality, I have to say. The quality of the paper and everything is top notch. And do check out Mark Jenkins as well. He does some amazing stuff, as does obviously Kev's LFC Art, and another really good talented sports based. Well, he doesn't just do sport. Is Ross Baines, another one that does really good work. And there's one more. Sean Leonard art as well, does some really good Liverpool stuff. But yes, to be in with a chance to win that print, which we're going to give away, we'll announce the winner during the Sevilla watch along on Sunday. All you have to do is two things. One, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and for a second chance to enter, go over to YouTube. There's a pinned tweet on there that tells you about what to do. Just basically retweet it and follow the account. And there you go. You have two chances to enter, so we're giving that away on Sunday. What else have we got? Coutinho with Mbappe will be a good partnership for 12 months before hashtag Mbappe 2020 arrives. To them, bro. Morally diminished the sequel said, I like Havertz, is the right age and can play as a false 9, very mobile, wouldn't come cheap. Bayern are the front runners though. Kevin Samet said, so far Villa have spent the most money this summer. Are you surprised by this? I'm more surprised by some of the signings that they've made. I think they'll stay up, Villa, but I don't think they have invested the most wisely, shall we say. We've seen last year as well, Fulham I think were the first promoted club to break the £100 million spending barrier in the summer, and didn't work out for them, even though I'm still to this day shocked that they didn't stay up. Anthony Cronin just said he just did a Mo Salah painting. Nice one. I'm the least artistically talented person you'll ever meet, mate. I can't even fucking draw a square. That's how bad I am. Can't wait for the print with Salah holding 3 fingers up, said Yassar. Anyone going for Ryan Sessegnon? Not that I've seen, mate. Very, very quiet around, and a player who's really talented. Strongly linked to Spurs. Going back a few months. I don't know if Spurs maybe are waiting to see if they can get him on the cheap. I just don't know. But yeah, very good shout, mate. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would have liked to have been in the conversation from ourselves, but everything I'd read seemed to suggest that he wanted to stay in London, so maybe we'll have to keep an eye on that situation. But good one for bringing it up. It's been a while since we spoke about him. Let me just check my notes. I'm sure there's something I've missed. Oh, Danny Sturridge. Yes, we didn't really speak about Danny Sturridge, did we? So Daniel Sturridge has been fined £75,000 and handed a 6-week suspension for breaching the FA's betting rules. I believe 4 weeks of that ban have been suspended, and the FA are apparently considering appealing the outcome. Speaking about it, Sturridge released a statement that said, I'm pleased that 9 of the 11 charges were dismissed and that the panel found me to be an honest and credible witness, and that my actions on one particularly difficult day were out of my character. The case was heard over 7 days by a distinguished panel, which resulted in a lengthy and careful considered decision and followed by an extensive investigation by the FA. It is therefore extremely disappointing to hear that the FA will be appealing this decision. I will continue to defend the case and the appeal. I'm training hard and fully focused on the upcoming football season. Look, I love Danny Sturridge as a lad. It was great to have him at the club. Rules are rules. I'm not here to say if he broke the rules or not. That is for people, as I keep saying, eminently more qualified than myself to make those decisions. But as things stand, he's been found guilty, given a 75k fine, handed a 6-week suspension with 4 of those suspended, surprisingly enough, and the FA look like they're going to appeal. So there's not really much more I can say on that, but I did want to bring it to you guys because it is, you know, news around a former Liverpool player. Let me just check. There was another bit of news actually from Foot Macarlo, and they report that 18-year-old attacking midfielder Bilal Hassani, I believe his name is, again another name I've butchered there, has been the subject of an approach from Liverpool. The AS Nancy player, who has performed for France at under 17 level, is still waiting for a concrete proposal from Arsenal, and Saint-Etienne have also made inquiries for the player. So just for anyone who wants to do a search of this kid, it's spelt Bilel, and his surname I believe is pronounced Hassani, but it's Hassani, and he plays for AS Nancy. So if you want to have a little search on him, or maybe you know something about him, if you do, please do put it in the chat. Who knew 22 said, breaking news, Klopp stated he's happy with the squad, so no incomings. He absolutely didn't say there's no incomings though, mate. He said it mightn't be the busiest window ever, and we're going to have to wait and see. But on that, I don't know, we will just have to wait and see. Boya, how are you, mate? Just back in. I was saying to everybody else earlier on, we recorded 2 segments together. Last night it fucked up at my end, so Anthony was gracious enough to come back on. Now, I need you all to do me a massive favour. As you can see, LCFC Boya in the chat there, or Anthony as I know him. Anthony is closing in towards 1,000 YouTube subscribers, and that opens up a lot of opportunities for Anthony, because it will allow him to go live on his mobile phone and stream live, which you can't do till you hit 1,000 subscribers. It will also allow him to apply for monetization and a few other bits and pieces as well. So look, if I can ask you all a massive favour, I believe he's about 120 or so away. If you're watching this stream and you like me, you like a good varied list of football content and a lot of different voices and a lot of opinions, go over to his account, LCFC Boya, spelled Boya. Subscribe to Anthony's channel, help him hit his goal. He has been going for 2 years, working his backside off, putting out fantastic content around the love that is Leicester City for him. For us, it's Liverpool. Do the guy a favour, like, go over, check it out. I'm not just saying this because I want you to go and help me get there. He genuinely puts it in every single week, puts it in hard work, goes home and away, and dedicates himself to his channel like so many other great content providers that are out there. Please do me that one massive favour if you can, ladies and gentlemen. If he hits that 1,000, I just really earns it. He's deserved it. We're very fortunate. We are fans of a football club that have a huge global following. How I've got and Connor's got to 18,000 subs, I never know. But Anthony has been plugging away for 2 years, and you will not meet a nicer, more humble, more honest, down-to-earth fella than Anthony. So please, guys, do me that one favour. Go over there and subscribe to his account and watch his stuff as well, because I genuinely believe you'll enjoy it. What else have we got? Liverpool should sign Sessegnon as backup for Robbo Mane, said Adam Parks. Liverpool interested in French players, the Liverpool Football Club. We could end up signing somebody on deadline day, said Shea Trainer. It's been a while since we had a deadline day. A little bit of deadline day action, isn't it? A little bit of Craig sitting here in a yellow tie. I could do that, yeah. Yes, some more of that, please. I'd love a bit of deadline day action. Boya, you're very welcome, mate, and I meant every word of it. I genuinely, I really do have a lot of respect for the work that you put into the channel, mate. And I know that there's content providers all around the world there, but there's no denying it. For us Liverpool fans, for United fans, for Arsenal fans, for fans of the big club, it is easier. It's easier because there's more supporters out there in the world following our clubs. But I tell you what, I mean, I've met some lovely people since I've started this channel, and Anthony's right up there with the nicest, most humble of them all. Yeah, so please do that one favour. Just go over there. Even if you were thinking of subscribing to us tonight, don't bother. Go over and subscribe to Anthony and give LCFC Boya that subscription, because you won't regret it. He's a top lad. Do you remember that guy in League 2? We were linked to it. Yes, the striker from Paris FC, I believe, was I don't remember the guy's name, big man Steve, but it wasn't just us. I think it was us and Barcelona were both linked with him, and I think the price was around 5 million quid, if my memory serves me right. Any news about Asensio to Liverpool? No, other than the Real Madrid desperately trying to move him on and trying to get 85 million. No. It does look like Ceballos might be going to Arsenal on loan. We spoke about that one a while ago. Spurs had inquired about him, but it looks most likely that it'll be a loan to Arsenal, if you are to believe media reports. Thank you. So many people in the chat now saying that they're going over to subscribe to Boya's channel. That is why you guys are the best fucking subscribers in the world, and you genuinely care, and that means a lot to me as well, and I know it means a lot to Anthony, and I know Connor thinks very highly of him as well, as does Brian, of course. Okay, what else have we got? Have we any more bits and pieces before we finish up? We could probably do another 10 minutes or so tonight, ladies and gents. I'm just trying to have a look through my notes in case I've missed something, because I usually do. No, actually, I think I've covered everything at my end, which is sweet. Any news about extending the stadium, said Who Knew 22. Yeah, there was an article in the Echo, I think it was 3 or 4 days ago, and it was talking about a potential train line that might be the missing link for Liverpool to help with their expansion of the Annie Road end, because as it stands we've outlined planning permission for I think around 4,500 extra seats on the Annie Road end. That is up in September, and it's looking more and more likely now that the club are going to allow that planning permission to lapse and then reapply. I don't have enough information on me to give you concrete details, but there is an old train or tram line that runs right alongside Anfield, so maybe they're looking at that, because if you remember me saying before, you need to improve, to go beyond 60k, it seems you need to improve public transport links, you need to improve the infrastructure around, you need to, of course, have the facilities, and you need to make sure that noise pollution and all that traffic, all that kind of stuff can be worked, because you've got to look after the locals as well. 103 to go for Boya. You're going to get there, mate. I know you're going to get there. So please, guys, do go over and make sure you subscribe to his channel. Anthony Cronin said, Craig, don't know if you heard, a woman in Waterford had been hospitalised because she got bitten by a black widow spider. Somebody mentioned earlier on about it, mate, but do you know what? I'm not even going to try and think about that, because other words, every spider I'll be looking at, I'll be fucking thinking of you. So what I mean, mate, I'll just leave these things be. Mentioned the other night, tramline plans have been approved and shut down for the last 20 years in Liverpool. Too much fighting in the local council has stopped it being done. Hopefully, mate, it goes ahead, because, I mean, getting to Anfield can be a pain in the arse from the city centre. I'm not going to lie, mate. I mean, you can walk, of course you can, but public transport isn't great up to Anfield, from my experiences of being there anyway. Thought this was about Liverpool, not about spider bites and tramline, said Who Knew 22. Well, the tramline is about Liverpool, mate, but you know what? You can feel free to fuck off if it's not for you. Who knew 22? Who knew? Who knew that you could be told to fuck off? I knew, because I don't frankly like people like you who are smarter. And you know, I'm not even, you're just gone. Bye bye. Couldn't be arsed dealing with you, mate. I mean, the channel is about Liverpool, yeah, but people are free to comment on whatever they want. General interest stories, and the tramline is around Liverpool, so fuck you. Who knew? There's a problem with noise pollution around the Empty Hat, or there's no problem with noise pollution, said Adam Parks. Yeah, there is a problem with plastic though, mate. Do you know what I mean? You got to look after the recycling as well. The most deadly spider is Wan-Bissaka, said Leon Can. Okay, what else have we got? If you had to pick one player from Celtic to sign for Liverpool, who would it be? Probably Tierney, although most likely nobody, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't watch enough of Celtic to really care, if I'm being honest, mate. I don't mean that to sound bad, I'm just not interested in Scottish football. It doesn't appeal to me. In saying that though, I probably will go over with my mate who asked me to go over to Celtic Park this season with him, because I want to see the safe standing, but yeah, probably nobody is my honest answer. Who knew? Hey, no footy to talk about anyway, said Graham Holmes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, somebody mentions a spider and you fucking talk about spiders and tramlines. Well, the tramline kind of was around Anfield, so it kind of was related to the club in a pretty important way. Will you know if the screen situation for VAR is getting sorted now, Craig? I haven't read anything on it, Joanne. Now, it has been said that VAR replays and the showing of a decision being pending or going to VAR would be shown on big screens in the Premier League, but we don't have one at Anfield, so I don't know how they're going to sort that out. I'm sure they will somehow, but I don't know as of yet. Maybe somebody else in the chat will have read it. I think we should be get Sessegnon, provide left back depth. He's not really a left back though. I know he has played there for Fulham, but much like Junior Firpo when we were speaking about him from Real Betis, he's more of a wing back. And in Sessegnon's case, he could probably even be described as more of a left midfielder. But he's a great player, CJ Ray. I definitely agree with you on that, and somebody we should be looking at. Do Ireland and Scotland have a good relationship? In what way? I mean, I've no issues with any Scots, so I can't really say. I've never had or heard or noticed any issues with Irish and Scottish people. I've seen a side of you that I don't like. I'm going. TTFN, my friend. Feel free to not let the door hit your ass on the way out. I've seen a side of you I don't like. Is our relationship over now, Yusuf? Are we done? I mean, there's no coming back from this, is there? What if I ask nicely? What if I say I'm sorry, Yusuf? What if I give you a Klopp hug? No? Yes? Maybe? Is there any way back, mate? What if I'm like Coutinho and I put out a full PR campaign and I try and get my agent and stuff to just say, look, Yusuf, Craig didn't mean to, mate. He was sorry. He can be a bold boy from time to times, but he really does love you. Or, much like our friend from earlier on, you can go and fuck yourself. I'll let the decision be yours, mate. I'm going to leave you in the chat, though, because you weren't in any way abusive. Sessegnon is unbelievably overrated, said Leon Khan. He didn't progress in the Premier League from the season before, mate, like you've said, yeah. I mean, if you're just seeing this side of me now, by the way, Yusuf, I mean, fucking hell, mate, you're best to leave now before the watch-along start. You must be a newbie as well, because those who've been around for a while know that I have an narky side to me. What's my score prediction for the game tomorrow? I want to see the team first, Scotty, before I guess, mate, but goals and lots of goals, I would say, and enjoyment as well. And I hope for the Liverpool fans in America who get to go to the game, so they have a wonderful time. Yeah, and I love that the club, I think, did you see the club visited the Chicago Supporters Club? Rushy went there with Peter Morris and all big ears as well, which was lovely to see. And I love that the club do put in that much effort when they're over there, because it's difficult for fans in America or Australia or wherever it is to get over and see the club. So when they do go on the pre-season tours, I do like to see them interacting as much as they can with the fans, and giving the fans as much access as they can as well. So it's always a bonus. I forgive you, now be nice to the spider guy. Nah, he's gone, mate. Sorry. He's gone. What else we got? Sorry, everybody, what have I missed? Said Stephen Taggart. Oh, mate, a lot. We're talking spiders, trams. I mean, you name it, mate. We've spoken about it tonight. Just a bit about Coutinho as well, mate. Apparently Neymar have given, or Barcelona have offered PSG Neymar, or not Neymar. Jeez, I'm going to get this right eventually. Apparently Barcelona have offered PSG 90 million and 2 players from a list of 6 for Neymar. Pepe, there's a couple of things that have come out to say Liverpool are one of 3 clubs who have put in concrete bids for Nicolas Pepe, although that's still been denied from the English side. Liverpool linked to the Trabzonspor goalkeeper, who I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, but it's only if Simon Mignolet moves on. Also linked to an 18-year-old attacking midfielder called Bilal Hassani, who is from AS Nancy. Anything else I've forgotten about? Daniel Sturridge got a 75k fine and a 6-week ban for the betting rules that he breached. Fekir's gone to Real Betis. It looks like 25 million on a 5-year deal, but it won't go through until they sell Giovanni Lo Celso. I think that's everything, mate. I don't think I've missed anything else. Oh, we talked about which ball footballers were the best as well, and once Zidane's name was mentioned, I thought it was over, to be fair. You missed the best ball player debate, and Leon Khan reckoned it was Ashley Young. 12 days until my birthday, said Big Man Steve. Well, happy birthday to you, buddy. 12 days to go. What are we in now? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3.5 more days till I go on my holidays. I'm not going to lie, as much as I love you guys, I'm absolutely looking forward to a week with no phone checking, no streaming, just me messing around, having fun with the family. Has Buvac gone anywhere? Not that I've seen Bernadette, but you know what? Sound the Buvac klaxon, somebody. It's not something I've been keeping an eye on either, so I genuinely don't know, Bernadette. You're welcome, Stephen, mate, for the catch up, mate, no problem. What happened to Buvac? He left Liverpool, and I'm just leaving it there, mate, because after that, yeah, we spent too long on that at the time. We spent so long talking about it that we imposed a Buvac klaxon and a ban on talking about him. Gozzy said, not looking forward to VAR. All fans laughing, other fans were celebrating an overturned goal. I can see that. Yep, I can definitely see that coming in, Gozzy. Yeah, it's. I wonder, will VAR have? And this is not my theory, by the way. Somebody else mentioned this to me. I wonder if VAR will have an impact, a positive impact on the teams in the lower half of the league, because often the times they felt like the big decisions went against them, and now if they are going to be looked at, whether it's a penalty decision, an offside or whatever, then there's a good chance it might work in their favour. It'll be interesting to see how it does work out this year. The VAR debate is going to go on and on and on and on, but it is going to be here this year in the Premier League. So like Gossi has said, there is going to be some of those situations where fans are celebrating and then going, wait, hang on, we can't celebrate yet, because every goal, I believe, gets a VAR check, every single one. What else we got? What about Konchesky? He was world class. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, there's very few players that have played for this club that I hold a lot of dislike towards, but Paul Konchesky is definitely one of those players that I just wish we never went near, ever. Small teams don't get the rub of the green, said Boya. Look, Cardiff last year, you can understand I don't like Warnock, but there was a couple of occasions last year I could absolutely understand why he was losing his mind. Cardiff could have stayed up if it wasn't for VAR, said Big Man Steve. Did I hear we would have been 12 points better off with VAR last year? There was a study done that did show that Liverpool would have been 12 points better off. I think it was from the year before, but I could be wrong on that one, mate. But there definitely was something around that one. I think it was the University of Bath in conjunction with... God, I can't remember who the other crowd were, but there was definitely a study carried out, mate. You're right. Raoul said VAR is going to take time to get right. And my biggest problem with it, mate, is the state of the officiating in the Premier League anyway. I just wonder if them clowns are going to be able to implement it decently at all, because I'm not happy with the standard of refereeing in the Premier League, full stop. What is the league with the most money behind it in the world? We have some shockingly shit officials. His mother loved him. Oh, she did, and she wasn't shy about letting the world know about it either. What's the beef with Terry? Yeah, we're not going to talk about him anymore, mate, so we can pass on that one. Thank you very much. And there's no beef, by the way, but we're going to pass on it. It's done as far as I'm concerned. I've nothing else to say about him. What else could we... No phone checking on holidays? Absolutely not. We could do a ball starting 11. Maybe for another day, mate. Yeah, maybe we could look at that. Heard Liverpool bid 80 million. For who's that? Sorry, I missed. There was no name at the end of it, mate. Sorry. Will I do a Premier League table prediction video? Well, it's funny you mentioned that. Myself and Boya just did a prediction video for the top 6 and for relegation, so keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming out next week when I'm on my holidays. And again, just to finish up with tonight, ladies and gents, I said it earlier on, you can see him there in the chat, Leicester City FC Boya. He's getting close. He's edging towards that 1,000 subscriber mark, which does open up a few opportunities for him on YouTube. If you can do me a massive favour, please do go over and subscribe to his channel. And what have we got? 475 people watching, ladies and gents. If you have enjoyed tonight's stream, please do hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up as well. And we do appreciate your time as always. And I've appreciated, like tonight actually, let me just check this. 1, 2, 3, I think 4 or 5 super chats, which is really nice as well. I appreciate that from everyone. Thank you so much. Let me just do a couple more comments before we finish up. Alan Shearer was the best ball player in the Premier League. Hashtag stats, said Kate. Baldies versus Harrys. There's too many Harrys, that's the problem. Baldies are in the minority. Was it a joke about Huddersfield's kit or was it real? It has to be a joke, Bernadette, because everything that I've seen suggests that it's against the rules of the size of a potential sponsor's logo. So yes, they could probably get away with it in pre-season, but I don't think come the start of the league they're going to be able to have Paddy Power like a full-on Miss World sash going diagonally across their kit. It has to be a piss take or a PR stunt. What if you sign someone you can't check your phone? I might have to make a little side trip somewhere, mate. I'll find out somehow if we sign somebody. There'll be a news channel or something. I'll find out. Connor will message me or something on WhatsApp. John Hamilton has very kindly put a link in there as well into Anthony's channel if anybody wants to just click on that link to subscribe. And you're welcome. Is it I'm gonna try and pronounce this. Is it Jotru? And excuse me, mate, if I've pronounced your name wrong, but I do appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Okay, what else we got? VAR is bad news for teams with skillful players and good news for teams with poor players. I don't know how that is. It is what it is. I don't know how it's bad news for skillful players. They're probably the ones that will get fouled or tackled. I don't know. I'd love to know your thought process on that, mate. Maybe we can catch up on it on another stream. Adding to the super chat train, said VAR, or said VAR. God, I'm VAR on the brain. Said Farwell, lucky number 7. Thank you so much, Farwell, mate. I really do appreciate that. Right, it looks like the ridiculous Huddersfield kit. It's nuts. VAR is good in the Champions League, Pepe would be a cool transfer permit, or what's this? Pepe would be a cool transfer. Peppermint? That you've gone me there, mate. Where am I staying in Florida? We're staying in Orlando, mate. I actually booked a hotel today, Dara. We're staying on International Drive in Orlando. I thought with Connor being his first trip to Florida, it would be the best place to base yourselves for the trip. So, yeah, we're going to stay over on International Drive. And for those that didn't know, actually, we did announce it the other night. Myself and Mr. Crosby and Anfield Agenda will be heading over to sunny Florida in September from the 13th to the 20th, and we're going to meet up with the Orlando Supporters Club, I believe, the Tampa Bay Supporters Club. We're going to do some footage with those guys as well. We're going to try and take in an Orlando City game as well while we're over there. So if you're around that neck of the woods, you want to come up and meet us, say hello, please do let us know. And Boya, thank you very much as well, mate. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave it there for tonight because my voice is starting to go and I'm really tired. Thank you so much as always for your time, for your comments, for your love, and for your help with Boya as well. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you head off. Give us a thumbs up. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care of your families, tell your loved ones that you love them, and up the motherfucking Reds.